want to sort of touch on these things because so many people, again, which I've already mentioned, I love that photo. It will take time. You're not going to be able to turn around and outsource your entire business in 2 weeks. It's going to take time to build the systems, build the teams, train the teams. I'm not here to sort of say this is going to be all roses. You're going to have to fire people. You're going to hire people that don't work. You are going to get ripped off. It's going to happen. You're going to get ripped off at one point or another. So let's just be realistic. You will lose some money along the way here.
Didn't you just have a situation recently?
I did.
Happened recently?
Actually, I'll come back. I'll touch on that now, actually, yeah. I've been doing outsourcing for quite a number of years and looked at getting a ghostwriter to do a little ebook thing of mine, just basically taking a bunch of presentations and interviews and stuff I've done on a particular topic over a couple of years and turned it into an ebook, basically. Found the guy, he looked reputable. He said $900 for the job, not a problem at all. He'd worked for some pretty high-profile people. So as a way to entice him to get the job done quicker, I paid him up front. Haven't seen a thing since. $900, gone, out. Something I'll talk about in a minute as well is how I justify that to myself and how I'm sleeping at night, losing $900. And when you actually look at it, it actually will make a lot of sense and you'll sleep at night as well. So we'll get to that in a second. Another big difference, just to set some more context for the whole outsourcing thing, is there's actually two types of outsourcing that not many people talk about. There's outsourcing and there's outtasking. Two very, very different things, often confused as the same. Outtasking is what most people do. When you're looking at starting a business and growing it through freelancers, overseas people, most people actually outtask. Outtasking is one-off jobs. If you go to Elance and get someone to design a website for you, if you go to Odesk and get someone to write a sales letter for you, it's outtasking. It's not outsourcing. You're outsourcing one task. You're getting a freelancer to do one task. There's no systems there. There's no process for your business. Whereas outsourcing is business-focused. It's business function-focused. It's about actually having a long-term, sustainable business with systems around it. And that's one of the biggest things we want to talk about today is actually differentiate that for you in your mind. Because I'm sure a lot of you have read the books and done the courses that talk about outsourcing, but they're really referring to outtasking, and it's a very, very different thing. To give you some examples of what outtasking actually is. One-off tasks, business card design, website development, getting someone to do a legal contract for you, copywriting, software development, one-off things. That is outtasking, and you need to do that to grow your business. But it's a very, very different process to outtask something than to outsource something. Outsourcing examples are ongoing projects, as I mentioned. A virtual personal assistant, a customer service team who gets to know your business and know your clients, ongoing SEO implementation across your businesses, accounting, pay-per-click management. This is the outsourcing stuff, the stuff that happens over and over again. It's the rinse and repeat stuff. So the big difference there we're going to try and cover in depth today as well. Questions? Anything about that? So this is some context stuff just to start the day off a little bit, to give you some ideas and some structure of where we're going to go. So anything particular, any sort of experience anyone has about outtasking versus outsourcing they want to touch on or anything like that?
Let me just get my $5 ready.
I'm not sure if you want to touch on this now or a little bit later, but my question relates to when the line is between outsourcing and outtasking, because sometimes I have a bit over 500 websites. Mm-hmm. Now, I have a few full-time writers, but the thing is there's a lot of effort goes into managing those writers and everything like that. Where's the line between, say, hiring full-time people or using a service to get all the articles and just hiring someone on a full-time basis to just maybe post the content or something like that? Where would you draw the line between outsourcing and outtasking in that sense, between all the management time that's going to go along with it and...
Yeah, no, good question. I think there's a couple of things in what you said. Even if you're using a company to do stuff, I still class that as outsourcing. A lot of people, again, have this mindset that outsourcing means hiring a person directly working for you. If you've got a company that you employ to do something for you on a regular basis, that's technically outsourcing as well. So I just wanted to touch on that. In my opinion, I think once you have a system around it and a process, it becomes outsourcing. Once you can tip something in the top of the funnel and a result comes out at the end automatically, that is outsourcing. So whether you have 5 people doing it and it comes to here, this person does step 1, and then once they do step 1, they tell person over here who does step 2 without you being involved, that's outsourcing because there's a process happening around it. You've got a system, you've got a flow chart. You can just do one thing and then it actually happens. That's my definition. If you're sort of going to that person, they come back to you, you're going over here again. You're just tasking things to do one little thing. You want a process.
And for me, I suppose the point at which when I think, oh, am I going to get someone on board as a regular basis, has to do with thinking about how much of a reoccurring job is that? Is that something that I can see going on for 3 months, 6 months? If it's just a short term, 1 month, 2 month, but after it starts to get about the 3-month mark, depending on what the task is, obviously it's going to vary, but you need to sit there and you go, how long is it going to take me to train someone to do that on a recurring basis? Because often when you first get started with outsourcing, you try and figure out, oh, I could do that in 10 minutes, or it's going to take me half an hour to train my outsourcer to do it. And it can be a little bit hard getting over that hurdle at the start because you're like, I'm spending more time getting them to do it and I'm not getting as high a quality. So it's all about thinking about the longevity of that job and how long it's going to last. And if it's a core part of your business, then it's something that I'd look at bringing in some sort of regular system and plugging someone into that system.